Oh, hi Karen. Maddie's my demonstrator for today. So we've got the ink that we need. So we've just chosen 4 colours: black, yellow, pink and an orange. We have some just isopropyl alcohol there. You'll need some shot glasses to pour the ink into, and then a variety of different little lids that you can put down to make the circles. Also over here is a pipette. I quite often use that to put ink where I want it, and of course our Yupo paper. So the first thing, and gloves is actually really important for this one because you get very messy. So the first thing Mads is going to do is in each cup she's going to pour just a couple of drops. You actually don't need a lot for this, so if you want a really intense colour you put a lot in, so maybe just 3 drops of the black there, Mads. So you don't need a lot. And magenta is a really strong colour that I've got there. Can you get the lid off?
No. Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do, Karen, is dilute the ink with the alcohol, so that gives us a larger amount of ink to pour around our page. Do you need me to do the same thing?
Yeah, it's hard as well.
Swap. Oh, that one is, there we go, got it. There you go.
I'm not weak, that's my point.
Yeah.
This one needs
And
a couple
also
more
think
drops.
about when you're choosing colours, because you'll see in a moment, we just pour them onto the page and they'll mix into each other. So if you pour yellow and purple next to each other, they're obviously going to create a yucky browny colour. Sometimes it works out, but other times it's not. So you just have to be mindful what colours you put down. Yep, good, Mads. So we don't put a lot. And now we fill each one probably maybe a centimetre. So tip it in, Mads, and I'll say when. Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah, that should be good. Depending on the size of your paper, Karen, so if you're using a big piece, like we've just got an A4 piece of paper here, a centimetre is probably more than enough. And when I do my really big ones, I can tend to use half a cup. Yeah, that's heaps, Mads.
Black.
And obviously the more alcohol you pour in, that you dilute your colour, so it will be, be lighter. Alright Karen, so we're back. What Madeline's done is she's arranged on the piece of paper how she randomly wants her bubbles to be made, so it's basically organising the composition of the piece. Also, I forgot to tell you, we'll need something to hold down, stop moving that, something to hold down the lids. Once we pour the alcohol on, they'll tend to slide and move, so we've just used some sinkers that we've put together in little bundles of alfoil, but you can use your bottles of ink as well if they're on hand. But Tony's a fisherman, so he should have sinkers in the shed. Alright, so now Maddie's got her design. She's going to take those off, just put them to the side in pretty much the same formation that she was going to lay them out. Okay, so now the fun begins. All she's going to do is just splash down the colour however she feels. So she's just going to put it on the page. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It can go over the edge. It doesn't have to be covering the whole thing either. Just plonking it all down. Yep. And just a little bit of black. You don't need a lot, Mads. Black's one of those colours that I really like because it melds in with the other colours quite nicely. Okay. Alright, so now she just puts the lids on, that's it. Making sure as you go, putting the sinkers on, because that will stop the bubbles from being distorted. Oops, see, like that one just slid then. That's okay at this stage, that won't cause any problems, but once it starts to dry, silly things start to happen. There we go.
That one on there? Voila.
Now because it's wet still, Maddie can gently blow some of the ink around if she feels that way inclined. Yeah. Whoops.
That just moved.
I'm going to stop filming her head. And also you can yeah. Good. Okay, stop. Voila. Okay, I forgot to tell you what you can do with the pipette too, Karen. So Maddie's just got a little bit of black ink that we didn't pour on. So she's just putting it down in a couple of little places just to add a little bit more interest. You can also, if you wanted to fill in these gaps here that are on the side, she could if she wanted to, but we actually liked it how it was. So there you go.
Voila.
Voila. Okay, so just a couple of little tips, Karen, when it comes to doing the alcohol bubbles. Here in Darwin, obviously very different climate to yours, so it only takes about 25 to 30 minutes for that to dry, and this is a small piece so it will dry in that time. Whereas in Victoria where you are, where it's nice and cool at the moment especially, I'd suggest you actually be really patient with it and leave your lids on for 24 hours, because what happens is if the ink hasn't dried underneath the lid, when you lift that up, it creates an awful mess, and you actually lose your circles, so they won't be there. So the luxury and the beauty of living in a lovely tropical climate like we have, this dries really quickly. Where you are, it will take a bit longer. What else is there, Mads?
I think I've covered like most
Yeah,
of it.
I think we have all of it, but it's just the drying time. You'll just have to be patient with it. I know, which is really hard because it's going to take a little while.
Definitely the gloves, 'cause as you can see,
yeah, gloves.
it gets everywhere.
Tipping ink everywhere, but just have fun with it. So once this is dried, I'll take a video and I'll take a photo and I'll show you what we do next. So bye, Karen. Hi Karen, here we are ready for the unveiling. Just to let you know, see all these lovely little ridges here, they were created by using this heat gun. So as it was drying, I got the heat gun and blew it over. So it's just a new tool, so I was having a play with it. So Mads, off you go. It's nice and dry now, but as I said, you'll have to wait 24 hours for it to take yours off, Karen. It's always the best part, I find, anyway. It's like, well, what will we find? Oh, that's really pretty.
It's very light today.
They are, aren't they? So there we go, Karen. And so now you can decorate it with Posca pens or getting alcohol and creating little bubbles by using a cotton tip or a paintbrush. But yeah, it's up to you now. Have fun, Karen. Bye.